Trading's normal. Trading's normal. Right now, the Nasdaq's up 0.7%. Trading is normal. We're looking for opportunities tonight in micros. I'm not looking for anything in minis right now. It's a micro kind of market. It's a China versus U.S. tariff battle. That's what it looks like. I mean, we've seen that headline come in right now. I mean, we're going to continue to see stuff like this, right? We're going to continue to see stuff like this. Calls for discussion to resolve conflicts. Fighting to the end. Lead tariff talks. Tariff this, tariff that. By the end of this, everyone's going to get very exhausted from hearing about tariffs. I don't know how many times I've said it during my slow markets the past couple months, but tariffs is the key word that people are putting their algorithms to that word, I bet. How do you tell yourself to stop trading? I.e., up on an eval, $4,000 right now, but I want to keep going. Easy. You go over here into these settings, and you see these risk parameters. Ooh, is this one? Look at this one. Personal lockout. Risk managers, apply these, adjust it, and lock yourself out. Or click on this, manual lockout, be done for the day. If you are at a goal, it's okay to be done trading. That's a good place to be. You don't want to be in a situation where you where you give that money. TopStep coined terrified. What is that? That's a good one. Where did I miss something? Was that something? We were terrified. These markets are terrified. That's a really good one. I'm gonna steal that. I'm gonna steal that one. That's for sure. I just turned on my practice account. Good. Okay. Sold gold. They had it on the thumbnail. I must have missed it. These markets are terrified. Dakota, at the beginning of the year, I told you that we were going to talk about tariffs for the whole year. Well, so far, so true. It's holding true, talking about tariffs all year. Dakota, sorry, I know that question has been asked 1,000 times. Long copper. Buy the dip. Coach Hoop, are you talking about gold? Yeah, buy the dip. I should have been buying it when I was talking about it, right? Gold climbing higher from the bottom. Gold for the win. Gold pushing highs. Dakota, I almost don't want to ask, but how is the options trading going? I've down in my personal portfolio, yes. The options and the volatility has cushioned the blow. The market says it's down 20%, but my portfolio, it was only down 15%. So it's not as bad as the regular market and owning the market outright. So there's definitely ways to hedge yourself when you're not full delta risk. What is the reason you are not getting profit nowadays as you were doing before? So the reason why I'm not making, well, you know what? I don't know. Over the past, I'll have to ask JD. Over the past 7 days, I am up $11,000 in 7 days, but I'm not getting the profit I was, say, August, September, November, October. I'm trading smaller. These are not consistent markets to the way I like to trade. And I've had to go through a drawdown and adjustments, and it's been a rough year. I was down 40,000. I'm down a lot less because I made 10. I've made 10, 11,000, and I'm a bull at heart. It's easier for me to buy markets than to sell them. But yeah, just adjustments. The nice thing is it's being able to trade for tomorrow. Being able to adjust, being able to trade, right? That's probably the most important, is you have the ability to trade. when you wake up in the morning. Sauce. No, I'm talking about my TopStep account. Yeah, 40,000 since beginning of the year. $5,000 daily loss limit. Well, it's less than that because I'm up about 11,000 this week, in a week. And it changes. It could change in a day. It could easily change in a day. I've had a couple days where I make or lose, or not lose, but make $20,000. But finding consistency, following a process. I mean, you can imagine, right? I don't plan for home runs. I think it's not right to plan for home runs, base hits. I was looking, now, honestly, just let's entertain me, okay? Entertain me with some hypotheticals talking about drawdown here. My average position size when I'm trading well, when these markets are consistent, is 5 minis, right? 5 minis. And so there is a world where I can realistically enter like 740 with 5 minis. There's no way I'm going to catch this entire move, right? There's no way I'm ever going to predict that I'm going to catch this big move. But, if this happens, like I happen to be in a trade and then a news drop hits, just unexpected, and I have a $5,000 day loss limit. This happened before. It happened like 3 times last year where I'm in a trade, I'm trailing it. Maybe I take 1 or 2 contracts for profit. And the next is we're up to 100 points. I've had plenty of 100 point plus trades. There goes the drawdown, right? So it's being and having the ability to trade for tomorrow. 3 months worth of struggling can be eliminated in a week, right? It could be eliminated in a day. And then once I get, I don't think it's a matter of if, I think it's a matter of when. Once you start getting that consistency, say, I'm trading better. You have those conversations with the risk management and just like, hey, risk, I'm starting to trade better. Let's open up to 10. I'm going to be trading. My average contract size is going to be 10 minis. Then my average contract size, I like to scale, right? I've been up to 30 minis here on these TopStep accounts last year where I'm trading 30 minis and daily loss limit, 10, 15,000, 30 minis. And then a $40,000 drawdown at the beginning of the year is so small. It's all relative. And the most important part is just building that process, adjusting to these markets, and then showing that consistency. Yeah, Momo, anybody here at TopStep who trades a live account can work with the risk management team and can trade X amount of contracts. You can. I've done it before. I've got up to 30. You guys see the house account. The house account was trading up to 50. Now, there's nothing preventing a conversation with the risk management team on a live trader who's trading consistent, growing an account, growing position size, to have a call with the risk management team and, hey, I want to trade 20 minis. And then maybe they starts trading good. Hey, I want to trade 40 minis. And he starts to prove it, trade good. Open me up to 100 minis, right? Now, I don't know how realistic that is because at that point, I'd be like, I want to trade my own personal account if you're trading that well. But, a prop firm like TopStep can give you more leverage than what you could get in your personal account. You got your first Express Friday. Congratulations, Gene. So what's your average profit when markets are normal? I like a 2-to-1. 2-to-1 risk reward. Normal markets, my daily loss limit is 5,000. Let's put up $10,000 days. That would be scary. All caps lock. You don't need to put all caps lock. Come on. Can you claim adjustments to your strategy based on market conditions? You stick to your process despite whatever happens in the market. Wrong. One adjustment. Size down. right? You've seen that today. Markets were very volatile, sizing down. Time frame. Time frame was another one that I could adjust to, right? Am I scalping 10 points? Am I scalping 20 points? Or is this a normal trade? Is it based off the 5-minute? Or is this a quick in and out? Am I see profit, take profit?
Order
Or
filled.
am I going to be looking for bigger moves, right? In a trending market, it's easier to find bigger moves. In a choppy, consolidating market, like today, let's say this, right? If this is a choppy, consolidating market, you're looking for range bound. How big of moves can this market give you? Everyone's seen the end of fast markets. I don't remember. You might have to remind me. I think, it was right here. I was short. I was going for a short. I was looking for shorts. And I think my last trade before I ended fast markets, I was short at 488. And I ended up building a position. I was in 1 micro, got stopped out. I tried to build to 2 micros. I got stopped out. And then finally this market started to allow me to build. I got into 4 micros here, which is bigger position size for what I was trading in this market condition, market environment. And sure enough, the market sold off and I went from down $700 to up $400. And then I ended up taking another trade, another short scalp for another $100, and I ended up with like $550 today. So little adjustments. It's not big adjustments. It's very, very small adjustments make a huge difference in your trading, in your process. I was actually typing up something before coming on stream that I'll post it later. But I don't mind. I'm a nice person. I'm a kind person. I like to think. Sometimes I could talk smack, and a lot of times when I talk smack, I like to give little lessons, because it's not just you individual person. It's a personal direct attack on someone. It's more of, hey, this is the reason why I'm saying it. Whenever I see traders in the YouTube chat talk about, we're going to copy you because you're a good trader, or fade you, and talk about process, right? Talking about why don't you follow your own process? I know there's a lot of back and forth, and a lot of fun back and forth, and a lot of traders love to talk crap, right? But anyway, it's more about the process, and traders who make small adjustments typically are better off. A good example is, let's just say you use a VWAP for your trading, and you say, I want to short this market whenever we touch the VWAP. That's a decent strategy. And that makes sense. It would have worked out, right? We put the VWAP over here on this right-hand side, and we say we shorted this VWAP. But now, if it stops working and you start struggling, and you say, well, it's not working out anymore, change everything, right? No longer doing the VWAP. We're switching from VWAP to a moving average. We're using Fibonacci retracements. You're just completely using an entire different strategy you don't know anything about, right? Or a whole new way of trading. That, to me, is wrong. That's where you get stuck in a cycle of switching strategies, switching indicators, this and this and this. You want to make small adjustments. You want to say, instead of having a 10-point stop loss, maybe you see how it trades, trading a little bit wider stop loss with smaller size. All right. Well, what about a tighter stop loss with bigger size? Okay. That could make or break a trading strategy. Little details, little small tweaks like that. Well, how about getting into a short as soon as we touch the VWAP? That could work. That could turn a unprofitable trading strategy into a profitable one. You short it as soon as we touch. Well, what if we wait? Instead of shorting it, let's wait for a 3-bar reversal and wait for that confirmation. So we're going to give up some of the risk reward and take more of a probability while the market's going in our favor and have a wider stop loss. So these are little tweaks, a little bit, like a little tweak here, a little tweak there, that will, small, improve your trading. Now, don't just make an adjustment and then assume it's going to start working in a day and say, yeah, work today, so now I'm profitable and now it's a profitable strategy. That's wrong. You need to make a small adjustment and trade it for a period of time that is up to you. I say trade it for a week or two. A month, maybe a month is better. The more data that you have following a process, the more confidence you will have making a decision. So that's what I highly recommend that. Don't jump strategies and go to another one. Make a small adjustment, trade that for a month, couple weeks, adjust, couple weeks. It's a continued process. Market environments are going to change. You're going to change. You also have to identify. This is what throws a lot of traders off. I know all 1,700 traders watching tonight, you've been through this. You come in here and you look at your statistics. You do not know which trades were based out of emotions, which trades were exactly your strategy, and that's what you have to filter out, right? You need to journal. You have to understand, because is that really your strategy failing, or is that you breaking your strategy? Is that you breaking your rules? Because now that a whole month worth of data could actually be less than that, because you have to filter out all of the emotional trades and mistakes that you're making as a human. Because we're humans, we're really good at self-sabotage, and you're going to make all the mistakes in this world that it's not your strategy's fault that you're screwing up and self-sabotaging it. It's your fault. All right. Well, that's that. How was that? How's that, everybody? Number one strategy, treat the NASDAQ like your woman, like your significant other. If you treat the NASDAQ well, the NASDAQ will treat you well. I've tried that. I've treated the NASDAQ well. Sometimes it's not reciprocated, whatever. Why are you attacking me like that? Because that's humans. That's us. That's the cold, hard truth. It is. And I need a drink of water. Repetition. Trading's boring. Reciprocal, that's the word. NQ's your crazy boyfriend. Support and resistance, value area, counter pattern on bigger time frames. I keep using same technicals. Yeah, keeping it simple. Technicals are technicals. Get a beverage. Ashley.
Order filled.
Ashley. Okay, I went there. I went too far. See what happens when I read the chat. I read the chat and everyone it directs it the wrong way. It directs it the wrong way. Well, we got that big sell-off here in the NASDAQ. We're not really doing too much. I mean, it's still volatile. Look at these moves. I say not doing much, but you know, that's 60 points. That's 60 points right here in the NASDAQ. So there is definitely opportunity. Let me switch to the micro so I can see it a little bit cleaner tonight. Yeah, that's a lot better. Is the 5% rule still working? Not sure what you mean by that, but yeah, the 5% rule is always in effect, right? Whenever the market moves within 2% of the limits, you know, AKA and the NASDAQ 5%, you don't want to open up a new position. And the risk managers are always watching. XFAs and lives. Remember, XFAs and lives. Discord is a free app and a free website. Hasia, what's my biggest loss ever? Do you really want to know? Do you really want to know what my biggest loss ever? I don't think the traders in here could handle it. I see one more draw. One more down move before an hour close. Explain ATR. 50K. Oh. No, Trader Mike. 50K is not. That's tiny. No, 100K is still small. Well, when I first started out trading, I lost a little over 120,000 over a period of time. But the drawdown in a live account that in my personal It's been over 300,000 in a day. A little less than 300,000, not over. A little less than 300,000. Do you play 3-bar reversal on 100 tick? Not really. Not really. I don't look at 3-bar reversals on 100 tick very much. Don't go to sleep. 175 coach. Expose them. No, you guys. Yeah. It's not lunch money, Quinn. No, it wasn't. It was baptized in his. It was a single day L. Wasn't. No, I don't drink. No, 300K. It's all perspective though. It's 280, 285, I believe, was the worst of it. And that was not day trading, though. It was not day trading. It's just overall account value. Understand that. That's a difference. Right? That's not day trading. That's an overall account value. And so that's why I say it's relative. You know, unrealized, yes. Confirmed, unrealized. But that's still, it's, nope, it's unrealized. Or it's unrealized, ending the day, broker statement comes in the next day, shows down 280,000. I was like, what am I doing? What is going on? It was a mess. It was a mess. It was during COVID. It was during COVID. No, that loss is definitely not now. No. I hedge a lot more anymore. I hedge more in my overall account. Makes you question everything. Will you put in
Order
a trade?
filled.
I've been watching these markets. I'm watching these markets. These markets are moving. I'm not seeing any decent trade setup yet, but that could change. That could change in a moment. Watching this Nasdaq. I mean, we got that news. We got a lot of news coming in about China and tariffs, right? Tariffs. At any moment, headlines could come out and move this market. And this is a very sensitive market to headlines. Where do you look to trade? I'm watching these markets. What's your average trade duration tonight? Slow markets, my average trade duration is about 5